it's like a blizzard.
What's poppin', everybody? Welcome to the channel, Pop&Snow. My name's Alex Popovich, and we have the K2 Excavator here. And this board is a great volume shifted board for those big guys like myself who are built like fullbacks and linebackers. And I have a size 12 boot, so wider boards like this are actually my favorite. Yeah, I love this freaking board. And I know I say about all the boards I've done reviews on, but these are all my personal boards, so of course I'm gonna like them a lot. But in the future, when I do reviews on these boards that I don't own or demoing and trying out, I will give you like a legit, like this board sucks, if it is. So just wanna put that out there. I do love this board, so this review is probably gonna be a little bit of a positive one. So this board is a directional volume shifted board. It has carbon stringers from tip to tail. That helps a lot. I feel like this board it can go through a lot of the terrain and it just plows through it. There's obviously limitations to any snowboard, but this one it gets kind of gnarly. You'd be like, oh no, and just like, oh, and make it through. So with that being said too, it has carbon in the stringers all the way down. And then at the very end where the insert packs go straight to the contact points, there is a camber carbon forks. Say that 3 times fast. But they go from here to insert pack all the way to contact points on here and here as well. And there's a bunch of companies that already do that, but I know like Rome does like the rods, the carbon rods, and I really like that. I feel like it helps turn so much quicker with this thing. With this being such a damp and wider board, you want it to be very turny, and with this added to it, it really, really helps. I mean, like you go into the trees and it's like, you just quick, you know. That's why it got me looking at like a softer, that's why I wanted the Almanac, because I wanted something that wasn't, I could ride it more all day, and this board you can, don't get me wrong, even on the groomers, this board rips, by the way. Just want to put that out there, it rips. Goes into corduroy perfectly, it lays a trench. Like this thing wants to get to edge immediately, it's great. But I wanted something that was more playful for like the park and kind of messing around, so the Almanac was what I kind of been leaning to more. But I need to get back on this board this year. I want to try the 158 because I'm a big fan of these boards, but I feel like sometimes I'm too fat for the 154. I'm 6 foot, 220 with size 12 boots, and I think I need the 158. And that's just I think for this deeper days and having more float, I think I need it, but I feel like it's almost too much board because I don't really like getting, like I ride a 158 wide directional twin usually. Those wider directional like free ride boards, I really like that size and shape, it's perfect for me. Even 160 is fine. I have a 160 wide shadow band and that's perfect size for me. So around 158 wides, the 160s, and then like it's funny, volume shifted though, with this board, how well it turns and how wide of a board it is, I feel like I can actually go up in size and feel like I'm not being like this board's too big for me. Because this board seems like I could go up and be fine. Just because of that carbon backbone, sorry, not carbon backbone, carbon fork right here. There's too much carbon, by the way, in these names, man. Like, geez, it's too confusing. So with the carbon construction of this board, there's a decent amount of construction. It's very damp. It's very fluid edge to edge. It's definitely wider. Like I said, if you're not a size 12 boot, or 10 or above, it's definitely pretty wide. I have the opposite problem where I need boards to be wide to fit my boot, so I've never had the issue of being able to ride narrow boards. It kind of sucks, but it's okay. But with this board, it's got rocker in the nose. Let me show you guys. This big old spoon nose in the front, and it has a rocker right past that spoon nose, but it's got a big old lift in the front. It's got a big old, you know, and it's this tiny bit of camber. It's really not that aggressive, and that's hard to tell in this video right here, but it's really not that aggressive. And then the tail, of course. Cool little fishnet tail. I love a good, like when you get to edge, it just shoots up snow, like the Almanac. You really get some like deep powder just spraying people. I love that. My favorite, especially skiers. But yeah, I've always been a fan of the K2 Excavator since I got it back in, this is 2 years ago, this model. There's nothing changed on these models. They usually stay the same, just the graphic and stuff. They have a cool little top sheet, and it really does work in keeping the snow off, to be honest with you. This board also has 20 millimeters of taper, and it's funny how I was going to make my first snowboarding review, and I did a review on this board actually a long time ago. I never posted it because it was really bad. I recorded a video of the K2 Excavator, and when I did that video, it has taper, obviously, so I said taper. And then I didn't like the video, so I was like, screw it, I'm gonna do the shadow band real quick. So I did the shadow band, and in that video, I said the directional twin had like taper, and it's a great board, da da da. I said all this, I don't know what I was even saying. It was funny, Angry Snowboarder saw it, and he roasted the crap out of me. And it was funny because what it was is I actually made a video of the shadow band and it did a great video on it, but I accidentally said taper in the video, and then I posted that video like an idiot. So it's always funny when I say taper now, I always think of Angry Snowboarder. Random ass little side story, but yeah, this board rips. I really recommend it to those big guys like myself who are fat boys. You can really get into smaller sizes and feel okay. Like I said, you try the 158 if you want to get wild, but 154 is fine. This is like I go to Kirkwood in California, I definitely bring this board because I feel like it's shorter, goes to the trees amazingly. This is like the best tree powder board I've ridden in a long time. And it's definitely underrated in the K2 lineup, but there's a lot of good K2 boards out there, I'm not gonna lie. Like I've ridden a bunch, I love them. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about the K2 Excavator, this thing is amazing. It's a great stiff, tapered, directional rocker with some camber underfoot board, and it rips. I mean, this thing will lay a trench. Like, I love it on the corduroy, love it on groomers, love it on honestly the deep days. This thing really, it got me looking towards this shape more, just a little bit bigger for my fat ass. But yeah, like I said, I want to try the 158. I think if I try the 158 and I love it, I think I'm gonna get the 158 next year. This is I gave this board to my girl's cousin, and he freaking loves it. So he's been riding it more than I have actually. But this year, I'm gonna get back on this one. I haven't ridden it actually in a year since I gave it to him. I've been riding the Almanac a lot, which is the same shape as this, but just not as intense. This board is a little bit more stiffer, kind of plow through anything kind of board. Freaking stiff. Oh my God. It's pretty stiff. You go lower back in the camber, it's a little bit better, but yeah, the nose is, this thing is stiff as hell. So this thing's really nice and damp. I like it. So get yourself a K2 Excavator. Thanks, guys.